Alright, welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Bahamut, your caster. We have a Division A matchup on our hands right now. This is going to be Adults with Jobs versus Stepdads. Let's get into this. We had the map bans already happen. Stepdads won the coin flip. They went ahead and took away Sky Temple. While Sky Foundry is banned out by Adults with Jobs, first map was chosen by Stepdads, and game number 2 will be Dragonshire. That was chosen by the members of Adults with Jobs. Welcome back. We took like a 20-minute break. I got some more water. I let my dog out, and then we are going to get right back into this matchup here for the Nexus Gaming Series. Okay, so we're going to be having Garrosh taken out on the side of Adults with Jobs, and Stepdad's going to be taking out the Ragnaros. Those respect bans. Alright, so this first pick on the side of Adults with Jobs. Towers of Doom? Pick them I have. I was like sitting here racking my brain. I'm like, I feel like they were the interview I had where they literally were just like, no one bans out Maev. Like, we don't understand why. Like, why not just ban out Maev? But they're going to go ahead and get it. It might have been them. It could have been a different team. It's all a blur. I mean, at this point, we're at 13, 14 games so far this season. So we're at like actual match-wise, we're like 14 matches, 28 games roughly. Ugh. Hoping to get to that 30 match though. Trying to push myself a little bit further this season. Last season I think we hit around like 26. But let's talk about this draft actually. Maev on the side of Adults with Jobs. Stepdads though going to be getting this 1-2 pick before the ban phase. Something typical we have seen is Stukov, especially on a map like this, zone control. Ooh, actually Alex Straza, but it's a little early to draft that, so they could just go ahead, maybe pick up their solo laner like a Dahaka. That global aspect is big for them. Okay, and they're gonna pick up their solo laner, that's Sonya. They're gonna have Junkrat as well. There's going to be a really good poke asset on the side of Stepdads, being able to just delay out these shrines forever. I was actually playing. I was playing yesterday, I think, and there was a Junkrat, and I was playing Curse Hollow, and it was just an absolute nightmare because the Junkrat kept interrupting me. Go Wizard, Honk Hunter, thank you for coming. I mean, Stepdads. But yeah, no, it just the Junkrat can be an absolute nuisance here. So, but the one thing to consider at this point is that the members of Adults with Jobs, they've got quite a few avenues. And I was just about to say, Diablo, do we get a Malfurion? Let me just say it now. Okay, no, ooh, okay, so they get Jaina. A lot of setup here. I like the Diablo a ton. I love STDs. Okay, Honk Hunter. I know you mean Stepdads. So we do have the Jaina Diablo Maev combination at this time. A lot of good blow up, a lot of good burst. At this point, if I was on the side of Stepdads, I'd be looking at the draft and saying they need a healer. And that's something that, you know, they need themselves, but if they've got something niche in mind, plus they're also going to get the first pick after this ban phase. I personally say you take out. It's really what they don't want to deal with. If they're going to go for, you know, Alex Straza, definitely take out maybe I would think the Stukov. Crap. Malfurion, yeah, so they take out the Stukov, but I'm just like, but Malfurion's so strong still, and it still works with that combination. Very much so. Please confirm that Stepdads is actually comprised of all fathers. I didn't. Kriv, I am really sorry about that. I did not check. I should have. That is something I should have asked them in coin flip. Like, these simple questions, they just elude me. Like, I never think to ask just such a simple question. Just like, are you all Stepdads? Not fathers, but comprised of people who are married, women who had kids. Oh, Honk Hunter giving us the lore here. Thank you. Lore? Background? Let's go with background. Alright, so this ban-wise, though, they're going to need a main tank. They're going to need a healer. They're also going to be needing some damage as well. Ooh, they're going to need some extra damage. A lot of choices up in the air at this point, but they're going to go ahead and take out that Medivh. Not wanting to deal with that vision as well as poke. Yawners, how you doing? Hope you guys are enjoying the game thus far. as we get into the last half of this draft. Stepdad's going to be looking at some extra damage. Junkrat's got good poke and range. They might need something a little bit more melee to go with that Sonya. They're also going to be needing a tank on top of that, as well as their healer. I personally say you grab your... You can grab like an ETC and a Malfurion at this time, and then maybe flex on that last slot. Maybe even go into the Falstead for that global aspect. They're going to be grabbing a support, at least on the side of adults with jobs. So making sure that you get your priority in this situation is probably best. And then they've got their main damage. They've got their main tank. They're going to be looking for a solo laner. So really, you can't really outdraft them. So definitely making sure you pick up the healer you want. I like the takeaway on the Malfurion, but I think Alex Strauss has got a lot of good control on a map like this. So we actually get the Falstead quite early, but we're getting to the Malfurion. Okay, I was wondering if they would flex on this damage or on the global, which I was thinking you would grab the ETC Malfurion because I thought there would be some decent synergy between those two, as well as the fact that you could just roll into that Falstead in the last slot. But at the same time, looks like they grab that right away, and they're just like, let's lock in the thing that we want, and then what are we going to be getting on the side of adults with jobs? They're going to need something into that Sonya. They could go more damage with a Malthael. It is known that the members of Stepdads are going to be picking up a main tank in this last slot, so there's going to be those Sonya doesn't have the biggest health pool. Blaze would be fine here as well. I actually like the Dahak on top of that, actually. Okay. Alright. Opting for an Abathur here. Bold. It's an Abathur map. You can slow play this. I think it can be beneficial. Go Team Stepdad. Yeah, we got a lot of Stepdad fans in here. How are you guys doing in chat? Hope it is going well for you. My week, boring. Oh, well, I hope it's better. This last slot, though, we are going to be looking at a main tank, I would assume. I don't think they're going to do some sort of tankless composition. Personally, looking at the draft right now, I like the ETC. There's a lot of good displacement for that. That hurts Yoner's, hurts deep. Retro Front, get out of draft. Get out of chat. Get in draft. Well, I mean, there's really nothing for you to draft right now, as we are just currently waiting for this last pick. I like the ETC personally. That's just my 2 cents on it. But that is really strong too. Dive-in potential into that backline could be huge. If you do get in a bad spot, the burrow is a huge asset to have. The Nubarian armor at level 1 can be really beneficial for that spell damage. I don't really know who to give this over to. I really like the macro play that they can have on the side of Stepdads, but at the same time, the fight is a little terrifying, and into that later half of the game, I'm a little worried about the Abathur here, as it's going to be evolving and becoming stronger and stronger. These clone options are tasty as well. Double Maiev, double Jaina. Jaina does benefit from the clone of herself getting those stacks. So if if real Jaina goes ahead and gets, a Cone of Cold on someone, and then the clone pops up and follows up with an Ice Lance, a combo, if you will. They have all that extra burst damage with the stacks applied, so it is going to be getting a lot of burst out. But we'll find out here in just a second. All right, game number 1 between these two teams. On the left-hand side, we are going to be having adults with jobs, with Retrofront going to be playing that Diablo. Nat showing off that bling on the Abathur. Myrmidok going to be playing the Maiev as they just go around Tadeva. Going to be on that Jaina, and Randy rounding it out on the... Oh, boy. Oh, God. On the Lily. All right. It's just too good. On the right-hand side, we're going to be having Stepdads with Adamusk on the Nubarak, Valise on the Sonya, Bacon going to be playing that Falstead, Dr. Holiday going to be on the Malfurion, and Woozy rounding out on that Junkrat. Let's go ahead and get right in here as we have these two teams meeting up in mid. Abathur already going into that top lane, going to get some Locust out right away. As this team just waits for the minion wave to get crashed into this mid slot, and they're going to rotate down, leaving Lily in mid as the rest of the team goes ahead and starts to get some experience in bottom lane. Maybe try and get a little bit of a cheese on the tower? No. They're just going to go ahead, and I think we're going to be having rotations between these two teams. The thing I'm curious about right now is we're going to have Bacon in that top lane, that solo lane, and actually not even going in, not going to be taking the mage stacks that we often have been seeing from Falsteads with the current changes that did come through a couple days ago. No, excuse me, I think it was last week. I'm like sure of it. I need to double check that. But either way, Bacon going to be I wouldn't say pushed in a little bit, but going to get this clear fairly quickly. Also going to be going to those seasoned marksman stacks. So definitely something to note there. We do have these teams. Actually going to have Adults Jobs going to be going ahead grabbing this camp. Adam is going to be scouting this out at this time. Bacon going to be clearing this. We do have an invade onto the camp potentially, but it won't actually be in time. So we do have Retrofund taking a little bit of damage. Adamesk a little far forward. Not going to be having a burrow out. There will be the Umbral Bind, but it won't be enough. It will be enough for the kill, as there is the Fan of Knives that come out. not in the... Excuse me, Sonya not in the best spot. Going to be falling. That's going to be a 2-for-0 trade as they continue to push in top lane. Bacon, though, stacking up this lane quite a bit. They're going to need some sort of response to this quite soon. They don't want to be losing out too much. Now, granted, Abathur could be going... Actually, Abathur is going into the shield build. Definitely going to be having that sustain for the extra push. Meanwhile, this camp is going to be crashing into bottom. Looks like the members of Adults with Jobs will be rotating off and grabbing this top lane, or excuse me, this right-hand side camp as well. Playing this very, very quickly, punishing the members of Stepdads for not grabbing this at the 1 minute mark, as we do see most teams doing here. Looks like they'll be able to stall this out for a couple seconds. Root's going to be going out for the Malfurion to delay it a little bit further. Trying to just get this burn as they zone out with Tedova there on that Jaina. Meanwhile, though, in mid, you know, solo laner Lily, Randy is going to be going ahead and getting this push here as top lane is getting pushed in a little bit. Nat's going to go ahead and try and just get this healing as best they can. We do have a complete shield build so far by the Abathur, as this first altar phase is going to be popping here in just a second. Woozy going to have quite a bit of poke here, as they do have two members in this bottom lane. Lily going to be rotating up into that top, just going to help out, get some soak here, as this tower isn't going to be losing too much health, helping just push that out a little bit further, as they are going to be rotating over for the invade onto the right-hand side. Meanwhile, this bottom lane is going to be the apple of the eye for the members of... Ooh. For the members of Stepdads, as it looks like Bacon going to be coming in, going to get the poke out onto Jaina. We actually, excuse me, I do apologize. We actually have the Diablo falling in bottom lane. They do go ahead, have the Abathur capture the top left side. Bottom is going to be captured by Woozy. Can they make the rotation in time? No, as they go ahead. They get 8 shots in favor for the members of Adults with Jobs. Randy going to make this aggressive rotation. Going to get hit by the tower. Valise going to go ahead. Oh, this does not look good for the Lily, as the fast feet will not be enough. Lily will be falling, and that is going to be a kill going over in favor for the members of Stepdads. Newbrack just scouting out this area. Going to be clearing out those mines by Abathur. Bacon, though, and going to be clearing out this top lane. Just checking really quickly with some questing stacks. We do have 9 of the 30, if I'm not mistaken. 40. Right? Yeah, 40. 9 of the 40 stacks needed for the Seasoned Marksman Diablo at 45 out of the 50 for the... Or, excuse me, 45 out of the 100 needed. 5 away from the 50 is what I meant. Jaina going to be working through those regen globe talents at level 1, I believe, is Frost Fingers, and also going to be working on that ice block. Slowly getting towards that, I think, 3,500... 15. I am not even close on that one, just dividing things. 15,000 mark for the ice block. Randy, though, going to be delaying in top a little bit. Going to have those Abathur hats as well as the Cloud Serpent to just push this back. Mid lane is going to be just left alone, as bottom is going to be bodied. Diablo going to be falling here. Not enough souls. That is going to be the Jaina falling as well, leaving just the Maev available at this time. Now, there are 2 dead. It is a hair of a level difference between these 2 teams. We do have this altar spawning in a few seconds here. I believe both members of Adults with Jobs will be back in time for the defense onto this. We do have this camp being picked up by the members of Stepdads, pushing into the bottom lane. We're going to be rotating in here, and I don't think they're going to be able to delay this out. I don't think they have the poke for this at all. And it doesn't look like Valise is going to go ahead and get the capture onto that. They do not go and get the pickup, and that will be Stepdads evening up the score onto the cores at this time, as the Mule is working its way for Abathur there in that top lane. But once again, in bottom lane, we're going to have a little bit of a fight breaking out. Woozy going to be falling here. That will be Junkrat picked off, as they do get the clear onto this camp and in this, in this lane. Meanwhile, though, Sonya has pushed up that mid lane a little bit. Abathur going to be hatting that tower, making sure that they're not losing out too much health on this. As they continue to fight in bottom, Retrofunk falling a little bit low. Maiev going to be diving in. No blink utilized. Just continuing to push down here as hard as possible. While they do have the Lily Abathur soaking in this top lane. Bacon going to be trying to push into this. Doesn't look like they're going to be taking any sort of hard counter. Meanwhile, though, also Sonya soaking up in mid. Not going to be trying to lose out on too much experience here. And that will be 10s achieved for the members of Adults with Jobs. I'm looking around the map here, and I'm just like, how? They're just doing such a good job soaking with that Abathur. I believe it's number 4. There we go. Just that Abathur soaking up so much experience. As we do have a fight breaking out at this time. The 10's achieved for both teams. We do have the Ring of Frost coming out. There is going to be the Warden's Cage. There is the web wrap onto the Lily, so there isn't going to be any healing just yet, as Sonya is going to be utilizing that leap onto the Jaina in that back lane, getting some damage. They will get that kill. Myrmidon going to be getting forced out of this, as Randy going to be popping those jugs. Not going to be working out. Retrofunk have with that Abathur hat trying to stay alive here. Gonna bait them through. Gonna use the minion as the dive out, but I don't think it's going to be enough as they rotate right back by the tower. There's going to be the dive in from Adamusk, and that will be the overpower into the kill. Diablo going to be falling. They get the bottom altar. They get the mid lane altar. And that is going to be 8 shots going over to the core of Adults with Jobs, as Stepdads work on this camp here, create some pressure in bottom lane, get a little bit more macro pressure onto these guys, as Abathur is going to be getting just that soak in top lane, pushing that up quite a bit. But it's not going to be enough as they start to snowball this a little bit, especially with a few of those kills in that last fight was huge for them. Abathur doing what they can with the Mule, but it won't be enough, as they do get the Umbral Bind onto Adamusk. Slows will be there, but they just get the burrow right out. No big deal, as the next camp will be picked up. Next altar phase, though, going to be a double in the top. Falstead once again just checking in on this matchup in top between the most PvE competitive game Bacon's probably ever played. They'll just be going ahead and soaking up the more stacks. 24 out of the 40 needed. Camp going to be picked up. 11 to 12. We do have them scouted out in this bush. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to go ahead and get any sort of gank onto the members of Stepdads, but they do get the clear into that camp. Not going to be bursting down bottom lane. Junkrat going to be going ahead and getting the vision out with the trap there. And no fight breaking out. Okay, I was like a little back and forth there. Going to be pushing a little bit further. I think they want to try and take this bell tower here. Try and maybe get 10 shots in their favor on the next altar phase. That's going to be popping in 15 seconds. But I don't think it'll be enough time, as Falstead is literally already in position with 10 seconds to go. We have Valise going to be rotating out as well. Members of Adults with Jobs going to be working their way through mid, as right side is going to be picked up by the... I think this is actually going to be a trade at this time. Sonya going to be going over. They actually haven't started the capture just yet. Apocalypse is going to be coming out from the Diablo. Warden's Cage is going to be there as well. The Ring of Frost is going to be on top. So many of these members, as there is going to be the Gust just in time. Sonya going to be still falling so very low. They actually get the leap out in time with 400 health. Riptire going to be coming out, and that will be hitting Retrofunk. They do get the Shadow Charge in onto Dr. Holiday, but that means the demise for this Diablo, as we do see it flying across the map. Jaina going to be falling as well. Bacon going to go ahead and get the capture onto that. And they didn't pick up this left side either, so they're going to go ahead and get 8 more shots onto the core of Adults with Jobs, and Stepdads in a very, very good position here. If they can get another pick, they could potentially rotate onto boss, or even just do it right now. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and do it. They're going to take 12 shots. They're going to put 12 shots onto the core of Adults with Jobs, and I wouldn't say it's risky. They have the talent tier advantage. It's nothing huge by any means, but definitely, you know, you don't really want to fight without it. And I think that they do scout this out just a little too late. Boss shots go over. That will be 12 to 32. Now, the one thing we want to talk about here, this is Towers of Doom. The comeback mechanic and the comeback effect, or the amount of times it happens, I guess is a better way to say it, is very high on a map like this. I have seen, you know, 12 to 32, I've seen these games absolutely flip. We'll see here as Woozy going to get caught out. There is going to be the concussion mine to knock them away, get that spread. There is also going to be Maiev in that web wrap. There was the Umbral Bind holding Adamaskin here. Leap going to be happening at the exact same time. We do have the Junkrat falling to the Diablo. Ring of Frost going to be coming out as well. Silence going to be on the Maiev. Jug of 1,000 Cups going to be coming out and getting the heal onto Myrmiduk there, or Myrmiduk. We do have this tower getting pushed in. Nat's falling so low, getting so much healing, and that will be the clone falling. Gravesville, thank you for the host. Hello to everybody who came over. How are you doing? Hope you are enjoying this new game that you have stumbled upon through Gravesville. Thank you, I do appreciate that. Hope your stream was a blast. And I want to make sure I'm saying this right, because I said it wrong once, and now I'm just Jug of 1,000 Cups. Okay, I always would say Cup of 1,000 Jugs, which is so backwards, but in my head, I mean, it's wrong. Like, there's no way around it. Either way, let's go ahead. We're going to get into this triple altar phase as Maiev is going to go ahead and get the cap onto the bottom lane. Meanwhile, there is a camp pushing in as well. They get the delay at this top. Apocalypse was just used. Web Wrap going to be going out. We do have the Junkrat utilizing the Rip Tire. Kind of a little bit low here. Going to be bodied by that. We do have the Abathur collecting that top right. Diablo going to get the stun right into there. Woozy going to go ahead and get the capture onto this, but it's actually going to be stopping at this time as they do go ahead and get the setup. So they will be getting a few shots from those sappers, as well as they're getting this left side. They don't delay this out any longer, and that will be the altar going over. So 3 shots, and I mean, I just said it, you know, 12 to 32. We're a 9 to 19 game. The tables are shifting. I don't think that's the right analogy, but it's we're getting some sideways fights here, as we do have Retrofront and the rest of the team going to be coming down here to defend their tower. They get the flip over onto Valise. There will be the Umbral Bind. No follow-up damage just yet. Bacon going to fly in at this time. Jaina going to be coming back from death. We do currently have the tunnel activating, which, fun little fact, once that happens, all towers go from fort damage and health to keep damage and health, if I'm not mistaken. I've said this 100 times and no one's ever corrected me, but I'm actually fairly sure that that is the trigger for it on the map, where they scale up at that time. On Towers of Doom, like most maps, like, you know, the objective or most things on the map scale over time per minute. I think minion waves scale every 2 waves. On a map like this, the way that they've done it is when that center point opens in the map at, I think, 13 minutes, all things scale up damage and tower-wise, but we currently have a web wrap going to be going out. We have the Apocalypse on top of that as well. Huge connection onto so many members. No follow-up damage just yet, as the Ring of Frost will come out. Won't be connecting as Sonya does leap right out of it, taking quite a bit themselves, trying to spin to win, as they do have a silence coming out from the Malfurion. Jug of 1,000 Cups is going to be ending as Jaina does lose their life. Nat's going to be losing that clone as well. Bacon getting out with just a couple hundred health. Actually, just about 100 health. And this next altar phase, I really do have to say, unfortunately, looks like it's going to be going over in favor for the members of Stepdads, as Retrofunk a little far out here, won't be punished, but they do get the tower converted back over in their favor. Junkrat going to be moving up a little bit further. Don't know about that APOC Gravesville. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. Also, thank you once again for that host. I do appreciate that support. Hope your stream was an absolute blast. This altar will be picked up, and Valise, I was going to say they're going to hearth for this top lane, as Abathur has pushed this in quite a bit. Hope she could have ice block. That is one Mega Man fan. Thank you for the host as well. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for just bringing all over the viewers. This is game number 1 between Adults with Jobs and Stepdads. We are currently 14 minutes and 30 seconds into this. This Towers of Doom game is real interesting. I do gotta say that it's, I'd say a couple minutes ago, you might not have thought that this is going to be where we're sitting at, but this is a nice back and forth game as we are getting to the later half here. 16s to 17s. The kills are much in the favor for Stepdads, but As I said, these late games kind of picks that they're getting here and there are being beneficial as they do get the web wrap onto the Lily once again, trying to burn this down very quickly. Leap going to be coming out from the Sonya. Apocalypse going to be out from the Diablo. Ring of Frost going to be there as well. They separate the Sonya from the team. Ward's Cage going to be coming out. They get that kill, and that single pick is huge for them. Tadeva going to be soloed out by the Anubrek at this time. There will be the Riptire that comes out, doesn't connect. Nat's going to be burned down. That will be the Abathur clone lost at this time. Diablo going to be charging in onto Bacon. They go ahead and get the burn onto that Falstead. No more big damage coming out from them as Retrofunk with the Abathur hat taking so much damage and doing so much, and that also is going to be the souls, the Blackstone souls collected for Diablo, so going to be able, Retrofunk going to have that instant pop if they do die. And I really like what they're doing here. They say, all right, the next thing, ooh, actually, Woozy getting a bunch of poke damage out as Anubrek dives in a little bit further. They get the Umbral Bind. This is going to be right into the Jaina Blizzard. Not going to have enough follow-up damage. I was about to say, okay, this is nice. I like what they're doing. They're going to go ahead and grab this this keep right here, get that extra shot. But at this time, not going to be happening as Diablo is getting poked out by Adamus. Meanwhile, in top, Abathur is stacking up quite a bit, going to be getting some decent push. Sonya is back at this time. Falstead is going to be back in 1 second. They do have that flight as well as the portal here right above them. They currently get the charge onto Adamus. There will be the overpower, another combo, and that is going to be Anubrek falling. Here's the Jug of 1,000 Cups comes out. We do have the web wrap burned out as well. Junkrat going to get that knockback with a concussion mine, but I think this is going to be another altar in favor for the members of Adults with Jobs. I was like kind of pacing myself with that statement because I was like, wait, are the Junkrat mines going to get it? It's not going to be enough. So they take it 5-14. The other thing I want to note really quickly, boss is up. They have boss control with the Falstead Gust, and I also really, I keep wanting to note things, and I should. Just anyone who might not know, there is a UI bug for casters, observers, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter what mode you're in. We cannot see the cooldowns for some reason ever since Maiev came into the game. Does that mean we're going to get Sombra? Probably, because she's messing up the game. That's exactly it. When Sombra comes, we get a new engine. We get a new game, basically. Heroes 3.0. But let's go ahead. We'll get right back into this matchup here as this camp is picked up. Stacked up quite a bit in this bottom lane. The Junkrat is going to be actually losing the... Oh my god, the blow up and the dive. They go ahead and they get all of the Pumpkin Sappers into the keep down in bottom lane. They get 5 more shots available, and they also get that Junkrat. Diablo getting that Shadow Charge in, interrupting the Riptire from Junkrat there, and then also the Apocalypse at the same time, and just the Ring of Frost. They burn 2 heroic cooldowns for a kill, but here's the thing. This late into the game, you can see what value they're getting. They got bottom keep. They're going to work their way into mid at this time. Abathur has been pushing up top quite a bit. Going to get some value as they start to dive onto Retrofunk here. Going to get some healing out. There will be the Hell's Gate that was used at that 20 talent picked up just to get out of there. It's a, you know, it's Blink with a solo Apocalypse, but they're going to rotate up into top lane. I think they want to go ahead and just try and open up this map as much as possible, get as many. Okay, the way that they're posturing on the mini map, I was like, they're not going for boss right now. That's not a good idea. They don't have any sort of Hanzo, you know, scatter arrow burn on this. They just rotate out. Going to go ahead and pick up this left side. This will be 10 shots potentially, and I think they're going to go ahead and give this over. I don't think that they're going to have the burn in time because Abathur is delaying this out so very well with the mule as well as the hat. That is going to be 10 shots, taking their core down to 4 health. Boss is in end condition right now, and I just want to note the comeback mechanic. As I mentioned, it was 32-12 not too long ago. Oh, but this is risky. Falstead has Gust, if I'm not mistaken. Gust is available. They're posturing around this boss because they know it. Diablo going to go ahead and get that Shadow Charge out. They get the double stun out, and that will be Veliz utilizing the leap out, but that is a huge silence, but actually the Lily is going to be saved by the web wrap as they do lose the Diablo. Going to have those souls to come right back up. Sonya going to be dead as well. That is going to be the Ice Block for the Jaina as the Jug of 1,000 Cups comes out and heals Randy back up to full. Apocalypse going to be coming out at this time, not going to be connecting. Tadeva going to be getting the Concussion Mind into the wrong position. That will be Jaina falling at this time, as it looks like Randy is going to be the apple of their eye. They chase them down. There will be the double stun out. There will be the Abathur hat, and Diablo going to be coming in here stalling this out. Boss is going to be triggered by that fire stop. Dr. Holiday so very low in this situation. Adamus going to be going ahead and getting the zoning and also scouting for the friendly team. Whoa. That fight. Oh my god, and they don't notice that they're going to go boss. It's going to be 1-4. They don't have any boss control at all on the side of Adults with Jobs. The Falsehood Gust, look at his positioning. Oh my god, but they get the blink in right behind the Anubrak and get the burn. Bacon does have that Gust available. They need to make sure they spread for this. And I think that they know this, so they're going to go ahead and try and take the fight, but they get the kill onto the Falsehood, and they go ahead and get the capture. There will be the knockback from the Junkrat, but Maev is going to be in there. Woozy going to be trying to get onto this point and capture this. That will be both the Malfurion and the Junkrat falling. That will be boss picked up, and that is going to be game number 1 going over to Adults with Jobs. GG, well played. Nailed it. Nailed it, guys. All right. Game number 2 here. We're going to be going into Dragonshire. And just to quickly recap, everybody, KX, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate that. Hope you're having a good time in the stream. All right, so just really quickly to recap for everyone, if you did miss it, the map, the coin flip was won by Stepdads. They went ahead and banned out Sky Temple. Adults with Jobs took away Volskaya Foundry. First map was Towers of Doom, which was actually Stepdad's map choice. That was won over by Adults with Jobs. If you missed that, once again, if you're tuning in the second game, go back and watch that first game after this, because that was... It was just a great back and forth. And it's also a really, really good reminder of the game's not over just because it's, you know, the numbers are higher for another team. Like, they brought it back from from 12 to 32, being down 20 points against your opponent in core health, and it went to 5 to 4, and then, yeah, a really good ending. All right, let's go ahead and respect bands come out. We have a first pick Diablo coming out from Stepdads here. Not a bad idea. Dragonshire being one of those maps, there are a lot of places to just catch some people out of position. Triple respect. Making sure also that Retrofunk does not get that Diablo once again, because as John Knight said in chat, that was some really good play. There it is. I looked at the wrong part. John Knight said Retro absolutely owned that game, and was some strong Diablo play. But we're going to see if the members of Stepdads can bring the heat with their Diablo play. So we're going to have these next 2 pickups on the side of Adults with Jobs. Dragonshire. They could early prioritize the Dahaka. I don't see it over the Stukov, and then realistically their Maev as well. I think they'll maybe go ahead, lock in an early Maev with their Stukov. That's the feeling that I get. At least that's what I would be doing. Oh, okay. Gonna go ahead and just start out the draft very, very, I wouldn't say plain Jane. Joanna's really, really strong on a map like this. We do have, the blinds are extremely powerful. The grouping can be useful quite a bit, especially around these really, really tight pinch points and corridors. On top of that, we have Alex Straza in that dragon form for some repositioning. That double heal that does come out from, I guess you would call it, humanoid form into the dragon form. You can get the 2 healing circles out. Curious to see what build we'll be getting from that. But just a nice start to this, mostly because the fact that in this situation, you haven't shown too much of your draft. It doesn't give away for the next ban phase that'll be coming out here. But on the side of of Stepdads, do they just pick up the Maev Stukov themselves? I think it works well with the Diablo. You just build around that. They're gonna go ahead and pick up the Junkrat once again. I like the idea of them grabbing their support though in the situation. Stukov's available. Malfurion's available. Combo into the Diablo is actually really, really strong. You have overpower into Roots. A lot of really good pinch points for that for the Malfurion to succeed as well. Ban-wise, they're going to need a solo laner. And they're going to need some damage as well. Junkrat can't be their only damage. It doesn't really have that kind of finisher that you need. I think you maybe just focused on the solo lane and you take out something you don't want to deal with. Potentially maybe a Blaze in the situation. Blaze Bunker could be huge here. I think it's honestly huge on any map, especially what you're going to be going into draft-wise. If you pick up some damage over time... Let's see. I'm going to take out Maev, though. Not a bad idea. That will be the kind of finishing damage they do need. It does pair well with the Diablo. Malfurion has some setup with it with the Roots as well. Not a bad idea. This next band, though, it's kind of open. I mean, realistically, you're going to want to focus down solo lane as well as damage overall. And so we saw that Abathur play, and I feel like it could be pulled out again. I really don't know, because I mean, it's, you know, you can see things like Genji is a high value asset on a map like this. The mobility that he offers in and out of fights as well into the backline, but they're going to go ahead and take out that Jaina. Not going to want to deal with any sort of those Ring of Frost blowups that they did get in the last game. I'm trying to think of just like, what do you want to take? Because I think they go ahead and they pick up their 2 damage at this point. Something along the lines of, I like a Gul'dan. I like some sort of mage for some poke. I actually really like the Gul'dan for the damage over time. Or if I could be absolutely huge for that team, and then on top of that you capitalize with maybe like a Greymane. Even then you could actually replace the Gul'dan with ooh, you could do like Li Ming Greymane. Resets off the Greymane, a lot of good poke. Even then you could also pick up Genji and do like a double reset composition. Nah. They're going to go ahead and pick up Tychus and Falstad, get that global aspect, as well as the siege and anti-siege, actually. He's kind of considered both ways on the side of Tychus. So far, I really like this draft on the side of adults with jobs. Let's see what they're going to be pulling out for their solo lane and kind of just, I guess, more damage. Junkrat's going to have that range if they want to go ahead and pick up something in more of like the melee. I don't hate the idea of an Alarak here. I don't think it's something that we would see, but it's plausible. It's plausible. I think you could definitely pull out an Alarak in this situation. I'm trying to think, like, what's going to be beneficial, especially on a map like this. Malthael's an... no. They could Malthael. They haven't really shown their solo lane. Well, it's actually going to be the Falstad, so they do pick up the Blaze.
Here we go again.
Okay. All right. My worst fears have come true. I was like, at the start of this, so they show the Johanna Alexstrasza at the start, and my friend who's a support has always complained about this, and like the moment I saw that Alexstrasza so early in the draft, I was like, Brandon, I'm so sorry. And he always complains, like, I always make him support whenever we play Team League and stuff like that, and I'm always just like, oh, just play Alexstrasza. Like, you're strong with her, she's strong on this map. And he's like, but I don't want to pick her this early in the game, but someone else gets support. Either way, the big problem with Alexstrasza, 1, no cleanse. No way to deal with any sort of Chromie temporal loop. 2, anytime that healing circle comes down, that is a bullseye for target, for Chromie. It's a bullseye for Chromie every single time, just to literally dump all the sand on that specific point. So it is a late pickup, but I worry about this a little bit. We're going to get into it and find out. And also the other thing too, we didn't really talk about it in draft too much because it just popped and I was rambling about my team league. That Leoric going to be picked up as well for the solo lane into the Blaze. Really do like this matchup. I'm curious to see who will come out on top, mostly because of the fact that I think this is a fairly even matchup between the two. Both have very good sustain, very good wave clear. They both have an in and an out in engagements. I do think that their 10s offer quite a bit into these team fights. We'll really see who pulls this out on top. As we get into game number 2 here on the left-hand side, we are going to have adults with jobs up 1 game. Randy going to be playing the Tychus, Mirmorduck going to be playing the all the way around the Falstad again. Mirrorduck going to be on the Leoric, Nat's going to be on the Alexstrasza, Retrofunk going to be playing that Johanna, and Tadafunk going to be on that Falstad. On the right-hand side, we are going to be having Stepdads with Woozy going to be on that Junkrat, Vlees on the Blaze, Adamus going to be on that Diablo, Bacon going to be on that Chromie, and Dr. Holiday on the Malfurion. All right, I had to get some water for myself here as we get into this. Now, Joanna's still holding that level 1 talent. Falstad actually going to be changing up the build here. It's something that we have seen on a map like this. It's just with the changes and this is what I said last game, I've seen a lot more mage build. But either way, Bottom lane looks like it's going to be the 3-man. Also going to be in that mid, going to be going ahead and soaking up with those wingman stacks to go ahead and get camps around the map. Leoric going to be in that top lane up against the Blaze. Lane's kind of flushing out the way that they are to be expected. The only thing that I'm wondering here is that if Falstad will be joining the team eventually for these rotations, we are going to be seeing them come out from the members of Stepdads. And the reason I'm asking about that is because if you are going to be picking up these season marksman stacks, not season marksman stacks, that was last game. These wingman stacks, rotating between lanes is definitely a more viable option to get those a lot quicker and become a bigger asset for your team. But we do have this bottom lane rotation once again from these members, as it looks like they pushed into this gate, and I don't think they lost any experience, but the tower is definitely taking a little bit of damage as that rotation was a little bit late. Bacon going to be able to poke out into this mid lane. Top lane, though, pretty even matchup between Mirmarduk and Valise as these waves are just crashing at the same time. Bacon going to get poked out by the Falstad at this time. Dr. Holiday going to get some roots out. Not going to be connecting as they are scouting out this camp on the side of Adults with Jobs. Stepdads trying to take it. Doesn't look like they'll be able to yield the camp there. And they'll go ahead and rotate Retrofunk onto this. They do have Mirmarduk in position. And Tad of Bacon going to be able to dump a whole lot of sand. Going to have to use that barrel roll to get out of there. And at this point, I don't think they're going to be able to grab this. Meanwhile, though, in bottom lane, we do have a little bit of a skirmish breaking up between these two teams. Meanwhile, on top, we also have Mirmarduk chasing Valise out of here. Mid lane, well, Bacon just poking back and forth between these two. As bottom lane looks like there will be the members of Stepdads grabbing this shrine in their favor. So they do stall this out, giving time for them to push up these lanes a little bit more, but it also gives time for Adult with Jobs to go ahead and get the oh, I didn't do predictions for this, did I? Randy gonna get knocked back here at this time and is gonna be chased down by a couple of members, and that will be Tychus falling. First blood of the game gonna be going over to Stepdads. And can I just be like a bad caster and be like, oh, it's totally going to be in favor for Stepdads now because they got that first kill. Now, overall, I really think the brawl between these two teams is really, really powerful. I think the late game Chromie is going to be the outlier in this match. What happens with the late game Chromie if they can get the damage they need? And that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. That might be the decider of this match. And at this point, it's a strong decider for them, as Tychus will be rotating into that mid lane. Valise and Mirmarduk going to go back and forth. Still going to be holding this over. Once again, though, in bottom, going to be having that channel. Not going to be available for that Tychus in time. They do have Bacon rotating into that mid to poke at the cigarless player right there. Healing going to be coming out from Nats at this time. And overall, some just safe play between these two teams, only having the 2 kills at this time. I'm going to just look through the talents here, see anything that stands out, anything big. Just Falstad just going into that into the wingman build there with the shock. There will be the time trap into. I was wondering. I was like, do we get the Junkrat as well? But that is going to be Joanna falling. No iron. No iron skin available. Bottom going to be held over. It doesn't look like top is going to be going anytime soon to this Leoric, as Randy and Woozy going to be just going back and forth here. Falstad going to get repositioned a little bit here. Tadova in a bit of a rough spot, able to get out just fine though. Camp going to be pushing in the bottom at this time. Chromie going to be pushing out with that sand. Overall, it's real, I wouldn't say super passive play at this time, but definitely these teams are just trying to play it a little bit slow. Don't want to be caught out of position, as Randy just narrowly misses the W and Q from Bacon there. Retrofunk back at this time. Everyone spread out back into their lanes. Unstoppable is going to be used already in the initiation here. I'm assuming it's so that Adamus couldn't get the flip and charge and everything at this time, but we're going to be pushing Woozy back a little bit. Poke out. Poke will be annoying. That I will say. There will be a ton of poke that's going to be coming out from that Junkrat for this entire time. Meanwhile, though, they're going to be working on this bottom lane. Retrofunk going to be pushing this up. Falstad trying to get this, but once again, Woozy going to be getting out of there. And it looks like Dr. Halliday will be back in this lane to help poke this out and just stall this as long as possible. Meanwhile, though, in bottom, they're not able to hold it over in time. Diablo going to be going ahead and stopping this for now, as Blaze is going to actually go ahead and get the channel over as well. Falstad might have some work to do in mid, as a couple members are there. But it looks like they go ahead. Leoric is going to be right back on it. This is going to be just back and forth between these two, and there's going to be the Junkrat just putting the trap there onto the point as well and just stalling this out as long as possible. Randy going to be coming up here, trying to maybe get the burn as they need it. They will just go ahead and get the root, and they're going to try and get this channel at this time. Junkrat, though, can continue to poke out consistently. Bottom lane, though, we do have a little bit of a skirmish breaking out at this time. Roots and everything going to be coming out. Iron Skin going to be out from Retrofunk as they do get rooted and slowed here. There will be a ton of damage coming out from the Chromie and Point Blank Sandblast. That will be the demise of that Joanna. They do not get the mid channel. Bottom is going to be held over. They don't get that Junkrat, which I'm seeing right now is at like barely any health. Just about a couple hundred as they push into this mid lane. That kill, though, definitely what they needed. If that Junkrat had fallen there, they definitely... It would have been first Dragonite over to the Adults with Jobs. But Joanna holding 10. Tychus holding 10. We actually are not going to be having Gust. We are going to be having Hinterland's Blast. Commandeer Odin from the Tychus. Alexstrasza going to be taking that Cleansing Flame. Joanna still holding 10. Could be Falling Shield, could be Bless Shield. Diablo going to be taking the Apocalypse. Chromie, as we already saw, is going to be having the Slowing Sands. Twilight Dream from the Malfurion. Bunker from the Stukov, and Riptire coming out from that Junkrat. Now everyone is in mid lane position for this, just to make sure that there isn't any sort of collection on this, as the rest of the team on the side of Adults with Jobs is kind of rotating around, getting some camps, creating some pressure. Apocalypse going to be coming out, though, at this time. They do have a ton of damage blowing up. They actually knock Randy away from the fight. Hinterland's Blast going to be coming out, doing quite a bit of damage. They actually don't connect. They actually get the camp. There is the Riptire that comes out, doesn't connect onto Randy. No kill has happened just yet. Nat's not in the best spot, as it looks like the Alexstrasza will be falling. Healing Circle not going to be out in time. No one was available for the capture onto this, as Woozy goes ahead and sets up onto this point once again. Meanwhile, though, in top lane, Myrmidon going to go ahead and get quite a big push, taking out the towers as well as the well. Retrofunk going to be going ahead and just making sure that this bottom is held over as they get the recapture on the side of Stepdads. Stalling this out. Meanwhile, though, in mid lane, Tadeva into Woozy. Gonna get pushed in quite a bit here, as the Falstad is looking at 2 stacks of Seasoned Marksman. I don't know why I keep seeing Seasoned Marksman. Of the bribe stacks currently. Meanwhile, though, in top lane, Falstad versus this Blaze pushing in quite a bit. I think I said Falstad and Blaze. Leoric and Blaze. Falstad actually going to be getting out of that just in time. Meanwhile, though, in bottom, Retrofunk going to be holding this over as Nats and Randy go ahead and get the wave cleared, pushing themselves closer to 13 as the roots will come out. There's a whole lot of blow up going to be going out onto Randy, as there is the Dragon Form coming out from Alexstrasza. Nat's going to be trying to get this defense. The Healing Circle going to be there. They knock them back. That is going to be the first Dragonite going over in favor for the members of Adults with Jobs. Falstad going to be in there, as it looks like they start to push down mid with that. Top lane is going to be pushed in by Myrmidon on this Leoric, and the rest of the team in this bottom lane, this 3-man, is going to be pushing in, opening this up and creating a little bit more of a harder retreat path for the members of Stepdads. Dragonite just going to be getting some flame out as they just force the rotation into this bottom lane. And I really like what they're doing. They're forcing these assets to split quite a bit here, as Nats is going to be the target of Diablo. The Blessed Shield going to be coming out from Retrofunk. Kick going to be happening onto Dr. Holiday. There will be the silence. Is Randy going to be popping that Commandeer Odin? There will be the Alexstrasza falling very early in this fight. That will be Diablo falling. Not enough souls to bring him back right away. Junkrat going to be burning the Riptire right away. There is going to be Tychus getting some poke onto a couple of these members. Dr. Holiday will be falling. Knockback from the Junkrat Concussion Mine onto Randy won't be enough, as Retrofunk going to be working up this lane. That will be Commandeer Odin ending, and the Dragonite should be dropping. There are only 5 seconds left. Meanwhile, top lane, Leoric has just safely kind of pushed this up, continuing that XP in favor for the friendly team. Bottom lane, though, it looks like they're going to be going ahead and grabbing this camp, creating some more pressure. Scouted out by that Chromie with that level 1 talent. Overall, though, I do gotta say, it's really starting to amount in favor for the members of Adults with Jobs. But this is the curious thing. Going back to what I was talking about at the start of this game, Chromie's at 34 out of the 60 stacks needed. And I'm not saying that if you get the 60 stacks, that's it, GG, you've won the game. But it's definitely one of those things you have Two Sandblasts humming. Oh, Valise going to be dropping the bunker at this time. Tadava and Mermaduke going to be... Oh, the Entomb. Dirty. That is going to be the Entomb Hinterland Blast combination getting that kill, as Woozy looks like they're trying to get the clear onto this camp. Gonna be just pushed back by the Falstead Leoric. Meanwhile, though, in bottom lane, there is this camp pushing up, and it looks like there's actually the flip over the wall. They try and get the burn onto this gate as quickly as possible, as there is that slight panic. Retrofunk not in a great spot as the silence comes out, and that is going to be the Joanna falling. The Apocalypse did connect on to Nats as well, and they're going to be falling so very low, but the Chromie Blast will get the snipe just in time, and that's exactly the kind of kills they needed on the side of Stepdads to give them a little bit of breathing room here. Charging in, actually. Excuse me. Ooh. That Chromie. Just. And they're getting revenge for the Blaze that was bodied. Leoric gonna go ahead and get the Wraithwalk out of here. Should be fine. Nope. That is going to be Junkrat getting it with just that last grenade coming out. So Valise has been, oh man, I can't think of the word, but they're gonna go ahead and get those picks there. And the big thing that they have with Myrmidon at this point is just gonna be having that vision in the ghost form of Leoric, that Leoric value. Shrine's gonna be popping up, and the other thing I wanted to note really quickly is that the about level and a half difference between the two teams has now been completely mitigated by all of those kills that they just got. This looks like it's going to be Dragonite going over in favor very easily. The Falstead flight in is a little too late. They go ahead and they grab this camp, and albeit I'd say they might have wanted to rotate and get that poke onto the Dragonite, or at least the capture onto that point in time, but looks like they're going to go ahead, get the Dragonite, push this into bottom lane. They do have the Junkrat mine out, won't be getting anyone out of position just yet. Chromie going to go ahead and use the slowing sands. Going to get some poke onto Randy here. Woozy going to go ahead and rotate out as they do get a little bit of poke onto that mid lane gate. Dragonite going to be rotating into mid. The rest of the team, though, looking for a fight at this time. Falstead going to be barreling through. They let the Dragonite go. They're just like, take whatever you want. Oh, I think that there might have been a Hinterland Blast set up there. Yeah, it was off cooldown. I wonder if they just needed to get Chromie a little bit lower. But at this point, there is the barrel roll right into Roots. They get the overpower, and that will be Falstead getting killed. That also will be Blackstone Souls out for the Diablo, so they have that ability to come back into the fight. Or at least come back into the game right away. Blaze going to be making sure that well is taken out. Randy going to go ahead, jump onto this Dragonite, try and burn this down, and it looks like with 6 seconds left, that will be the Dragonite ending. Maybe get a little bit of clear onto this with a Dragon's Breath, potentially. Won't be enough. But that is the Dragonite in top. They also have Falstead dead. I was like, do they take a fight here? Doesn't look like it, as they look to the bottom lane to go ahead and get some clear onto this. I gotta say, this game, the back and forth between these two teams is just staggering. It's a little terrifying, but the one thing that we did talk about a little bit is Chromie, and that stacking value and the power spike that she has is quite big for this team. All right. She actually ended up taking that upgrade on the took the Pocket of Time. Apocalypse going to be coming out from the Diablo, setting their sights on the Alexstrasza very early. Going to get that blow up right away. Hinterland Blast going to come out, get the kill onto Diablo. It does have those souls to come right back. Malfurion going to be falling at this time as well. So healer for healer, Myrmidon not going to be in the best spot as they do get the kill onto the Leoric. Blaze going to charge in a little bit further. Retrofunk trying to get into that backline. Chromie going to be trying to get some damage out. Bacon going to get poked up by a couple of the members. I do not think Falstead has another Hinterland Blast up their sleeve. Tadava is actually going to get caught out here, and that will be Falstead falling. That's interesting. I stayed really close into mid. Granted, I don't know what the play was there. I wonder if they were trying to maybe go in a little bit. Maybe it was unclear if they were going to continue to fight. Who knows? Either way, bottom lane is going to be pushed in a little bit as the shrines are activating in the next 27 seconds. They go ahead and rotate down onto the Bruiser camp, which will be pushing into that bottom lane, giving them a lot of good value at the start of this. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them maybe go ahead and grab their Siege camp, maybe their Bruiser camp on a rotation up. All the members aren't up yet. Falstead's still down. Malfurion is back at this time. Scout did come out from Chromie onto the Siege camp. They got some poke as well. Not going to be happening as they're not leaving anyone in this bottom lane, which is interesting to me. They're going to go ahead and just they're going to still rotate around as 5. 20s are going to be momentarily achieved. I wonder if they want to just try and take a fight under... Ooh, maybe the same late game strat. Ooh. It's plausible. It's definitely plausible, but the thing is, Chromie is getting so close to those stacks. Diablo's already working their way right back up. Leoric is actually stacking up quite a bit on that level 16 talent. 80 out of the 100 needed. Not actually opting for Royal Focus or... Neil Peasants? No, that's not right. That's a level 1 talent, I think, for clearing waves. But either way, they're going to go ahead and just get some... They're going to start diving in on this as they were knocked out from the Junkrat Concussion Mine. The Commandeer Arden was popped. No big red button just yet, and it looks like with this, they're just going to back off. They're going to rotate off, and top lane was grabbed, I think, by the Falstead. It's also been pushed up quite a bit, so they're going to need to respond to this soon-ish. It's not going to take a huge amount of value, but it's just something you may want to push up that lane a little bit. Stopping in this potential area for a gank that will be Leoric finishing the Mithril Mace. And so just that attack speed, but it's just one of those things like I could be huge for them here. I mean, he hits like a truck this late into the game. Not as hard as the Stukov, as Falstead will be utilizing that flight into that bottom lane as the capture will be happening for a moment. They trade it out right away, and they delay this right out. And I love this play from the members of Adults with Jobs. They're like, you know what? We need 20. Let's just rotate around the map. Once we see them go top, we fly bottom. Once they go bottom, we just fly top. Like we're just gonna avoid this fight. They're also gonna go ahead and grab some map pressure here. Create a little bit for them to respond to on the side of Stepdads as 20s are achieved. We do have that on Indestructible onto Retro Funk. We are going to be going for the... oh god, I can't think of the name. Spectral Leech. Also actually going to be going for the upgrade onto Hinterland's Bless, which I don't know what is... Range and damage, okay. Because typically we see the epic mount, and the only reason I was thinking it would be that is so they can continue to play this kind of jump around the map game. But at this point, with all the members kind of showing in mid, or not showing in mid, but you know, preparing themselves in mid, I guess is the right word for it. To just get this poke would be perfect, but they're just gonna rotate around, grab their bruiser camp. And the big question is just, I feel like this is going to be a point of just who missteps first. And this might be a misstep for them here, as the Dragonite is potentially available for Retrofunk. They do see that Blaze has got some poke here. There is a little bit of a fight breaking out as Leoric does go into the Wraith Walk. The channel is available for the members of Adults with Jobs. Currently, though, these two teams just... getting ready for the fight. I'm just trying to like wait for the in. Like where's the in on the fight? And they're starting to collapse a little bit. Hinterland Blast going to come out and connect onto two people. We do have Blaze charging in at this time. We also have the Entomb coming out from the Leoric. That will be the body onto the Diablo. Does not have enough souls to come right back, so that will be them dying at this time. There is the Commandeer Odin in the background. We do currently have that is going to be out at this time. They're poking out onto so many of these members. Bacon going to have to use that time trap, and it looks like they get the kill onto Blaze, but not Bacon. Continue to poking out a little bit more. They do have the Falstead going ahead and grabbing the Dragonite. That will be in favor for the members of Adults with Jobs as they start to work down this mid lane, and with Diablo dead and Blaze dead as well, I wonder if they just set their eyes on mid. No? I was like, Bridge of Death? Nah, you push straight mid with your whole team. They've got some good poke at this time. They don't want to really lose their Dragonite for that. I do apologize, actually. I didn't realize that the bottom gate was had already fallen. So they're going to go ahead and just work down this as the Dragonite will be working its way in on this keep and just to start getting catapult pressure in that bottom lane. Diablo will be up in 6 seconds here, so they do want to try and take advantage of this as quickly as possible. Bacon going to get kicked a little bit further away just to stall out some of that Chromie damage. That will be the keep falling. Dragonite's still very healthy at 64%. I wonder if they go ahead. Do they go straight into core? They are starting to deal some damage on it. They look like they want to start to end this. They do not have Commandeer Odin at this time. Myrmiduk going to be taking a little bit of damage. The Dragon Form is going to be popping series, as well as the Apocalypse coming out from the Diablo. Core is starting to fall. It's at 50-some%. The Dragonite is so low. It's not. The Dragonite is not very low, and Core is going to be falling. That is going to be GG. The second game going over to Adults with Jobs. GG, well played.